Hi everyone, I thought I'd come out. It's a really nice day here in Perth and I thought I'd come out and show you a few things outside with my cats that might be helpful to everyone. Now at the moment I've got Reggie and Cuthbert behind me here. Reggie is on the chair and Cuthbert's just down here now. I'm not sure if you can see him. I'm going to flip this around so that you can see what I'm talking about. Here is Cuthbert, and Cuthbert has been, Reggie's at the back there. Cuthbert's been getting on Reggie. Now these two cats get along really well together, really well together. They miss each other when they're separated for matings. But Reggie is the man cat. He's the more studly of the two, and Cuthbert's been getting on him. So turns out Cuthbert's the man. Yeah, and you can see, I don't know if you can see, but in the back, you probably can't see, there's all fur where they've been, and Reggie's got a sort of a tufty bit on his back. In saying that, about half an hour ago they were smooching and kissing each other, so I'm not worried about them being together. They will have the odd biffo and then they'll get back to being friends again. So these are my cat pens, which you've probably seen on my lives before. They are getting replaced. So Damien has just hitched up the trailer and he's gone off to buy us some new mesh. That's the starting point. We're replacing our first pen, which is probably the one that's the most damaged, and is currently held down with straps. So we're replacing that one with a new pen, and we are going to just make one to start with. And once we've made one, we'll see if we like our design, and then we'll make the rest of them. We want to try one first to see if we would change anything. So we've made the pens that are in my barn. These ones that we have here now, these are from Summersby, and these are chicken coops, basically. So I'll show you here. The chicken coops, they've got a cabin at the back, and then they've got this extension on the front, and we've put a cover on that. They're falling apart. We've had them for 10 years now. Yeah, 10 years, 9 years. And they're a bit knackered. The roof is especially knackered. Not on all of them. Like this one here is okay. This one here, knackered. So they need replacing, and we want to make a custom made one so that we can, the things that annoy us about these ones are the things that we're going to fix. The cabins on these, we made the cabins here, we call them the poop cabins. This is where the cat's litter trays are, and we can lift up that top bit there and we can get to the litter tray. These are going to go around the back, and that'll give us some more space, and we'll be able to have them attached to the cabin at the back with a little door, so we can close the cats out of that, and then we can go ahead and change the litter trays. As per usual, every time I do a live outside, someone gets their whippersnipper or their blower vac. Our neighbour's getting their trees trimmed, so we're fine because I came over and trimmed our side too, so we're happy about that. Here's Bobby and Ralphie. They've got their little cabin there. The doors, you can see the doors, we've got bases. We had to put them on bases to raise them up because they're very low, but this is still very low. I have to duck down to go in here, stay ducked down until I get into the back bit. So the new ones are going to be much higher, much higher, which is going to be great. And they're going to have, the base of them is going to be covered so that less stuff will get in there, so they'll be a lot cleaner as well. And they'll have mesh, but that mesh will also have some plastic that will come down so we can close it off when the weather's bad. Now the weather here today is a bit weird. We have had some, I just heard some thunder a minute ago, so it could start raining at any point in time. We've also got the big trees here at the back. We're going to trim them while this one's the first to go, so while that one's down we're going to get rid of that dead tree there, hopefully. But I thought I'd also show you my new boy, because I have a new boy, Blizzard. And I want to talk to you a little bit about Blizzard. So Blizzard I got as an adult, and I talk often about how when we get breeding cats, we get them as kittens and we get them as adults. There's two ways to get a breeding cat. You can get it from a baby or you can get it from an adult. And often with our imports that come into Australia, they have to be adults because of the way things go with that. But this boy is one that I got because his owner was moving, his owner was from China and was moving back to China. And interestingly enough, this cat's from China. So he imported this boy over to Australia, and then he's moved back to China. Blizzard, I'm not sure where he is now. He's hiding from me. Here's the thing. When Blizzard was living with his previous owner, he lived in their house. I have seen videos and photos and everything. Here he comes. Blizzy. We were looking for a new name for him because we weren't really keen on calling him Blizzard. So he's now called... we were thinking of different names, and I said Damien could name him and he didn't, so I named him, and I've called him Blizzy. Damien calls him the lizard. I don't think that's very flattering. Blizzy, come on. Come on, buddy. Let's see if it'll come out better. Come on, buddy. Come on, Blizz. So here's the thing. When he was at his previous owner's house, he lived inside their house, and I've seen videos of him in their office, sitting on the office chair and hanging out and being a dude, and he didn't spray. I mean, I don't know that they would lie. I don't think he did, actually. Most of the time when people say that, I call bullshit, but with him in particular, I don't think he did, because when he first came to us, he didn't. As soon as he came here, where he's got the lovely boys around him, Blizzy, this is what's happening. This chair is covered in pee. This chair is covered in pee. This little mesh chair over here, underneath it, pee. Out here, pee. He has gone to town. He has hosed it up. Now, Blizzy is going into a show tomorrow. Blizzy is going to a show tomorrow, and I am fully expecting him to pee all over everything. So we are taking multiple sets of curtains, aren't we, Blizzy? My big baby? He's a gorgeous big boy. I don't think he's been shown, so we're going to be very careful with him. And it's going to be a matter of any sort of not happy, Mummy will take him and he won't go in the show. Because he can be a little bit slappy if he gets a little bit worked up. At the same time, this is a cat that's just started spraying everywhere. So I think the fact is that he has got these devils on the other side, and you can see all the fur there because they've been on each other. And on the other side, he has my beautiful Bobby and Ralphie. So he's not been around, I don't think he's been super close to boys before, so I think that's probably why he's doing it. But yeah, so these cabins at the moment, they just have sort of a half cabin. The new style is going to be much deeper, so it's going to be from there, it's going to come back a lot deeper, and then it's going to be floor to ceiling, and again it's going to be a lot higher. It's going to be tall enough for Damien to walk in and out without bumping his head. There's Cuthbert. Cuthbert, have you been on Reggie? You have, haven't you, you little devil? Ooh, and in the back there you can see Vinny and Bruno. They're having a bit of a face-off, but they're actually best friends. They'll have a little bit of a play fight. Bruno is an entire male and Vinny is his companion cat, and they're besties. They're the ones that were always on the wheel, and we had to take the wheel out because it squeaks. So I have to get them a new wheel. The other thing is, in the new pens I'll be able to get wheels. They'll fit in a lot better. In this pen here, the wheel was in this outside area, and even though it's covered over with the shade cloth on the top, you can see there, the rain would still get in, so then the wheels would get squeaky, and the squeaky wheels would keep us up at night. Like, the cats would be on them. Surprisingly, they'd be on them a lot. Like, a lot of the night you could hear because Vinny and Bruno love their wheels so much. We've got drainage in the pens as well. The drainage is great because, like I said, that's pee. All of that there is pee now, so I need to hose this one out later today. They're up on the bases, and the other thing about them is where we put the cabins, you can see that the mesh is there and the cabin goes up against the mesh, and it's just full of leaves. And so the new one, it's going to be at the back, and it'll just face up straight up to the back of the cabin, so there won't be any gaps and stuff for any leaves to accumulate. Also, the bases, we're going to try and work out how to make it so that there's not enough room for snakes to get in, but that there will be a good way to wash out the water and stuff that accumulates underneath those edges. Although the edges at the moment are quite thick because we've got them on sleepers, so they will be a lot thinner. Another thing is these ones are painted. I did these with decking oil, which look great, but then you have to keep maintaining it. So we're going to do them with decking oil again, but we're going to do them with clear decking oil so that they don't look so crappy when they're peeling off. And then they'll be a little bit easier to do as well because of just of how we're designing it. They'll have this mesh here is quite thin, and it is coming apart in places, so the new mesh is much stronger and it's got bigger holes, so it's going to be a lot better for them as well. And we're going to make it so that they're a little bit more weatherproof. These limestone blocks were great. Bobby loves to rub himself all along them. They go green because there's no sun getting on them, so they're obviously coming out. But we're going to do more shelves. We've got shelves here, but we're going to do much more shelves and levels for the cats to get around in. So this is basically my pens at the moment. I don't love these. Everyone says, oh, you got great big pens. We have really big pens and the cats love them and it's great, but they're in such shabby condition now that they all need to be dismantled and replaced. And we're just going to make the prototype one. And once we've made the prototype one, we will be able to then make another bunch of them. I've got 5 at the moment, but I'm actually going to go to 4. The last pen there, you can see Bruno on the shelf. There's Bruno. The last pen there is doesn't have proper drainage, so that one there we're going to turn into a shed instead. And I also have a little, not little, but I also have another one over there, which is just a cobbled together one, but it's all broken apart, and we're going to get rid of that one. It's just on pavers, so that one's going to go as well. I haven't used that in about a year. And we're going to have lighting, electricity, we're going to have fans. We're going to have the water at the moment is, so we have refillable water. It's not so that we don't have to come in here. It's so that we can just do it all at once. So what we do is we come in, we tip that water out and we turn the tap on and they fill it up. It's meant to be those automatically filling up ones, but it just didn't work well. And if the hoses blow out, you know, it's a nightmare. So what we're going to do in the new one is we're just going to have those hoses still, and they're all connected up, and they all connect back up to one over here. It's like hose city out the back there, which is weird because we're looking to make sure we don't step on snakes, but you see hoses everywhere and you're like, oh no, snake, oh no, it's a hose. So the new ones will have big pots, and then the plan is that the water will just go into that pot and you'll just tip the pot out and then fill it up with just turn the hose on, and then they'll all fill up at the same time. So again, that's things that save you time and also give your cats what they need. So a great big pot of water, it stays nice and cool, it stays nice and fresh, because even if stuff does land on it, that's why they've got covers on them now, even if stuff does get in them, it's going to settle to the bottom. So the cats will have fresh water all the time. So that means that it's easy to fill up too. So those are going to be just at the front of the new cabin. And the new cabin area is just up to where that drain is, so we'll still be able to drain them out there as well. The new cabin's going to have a door that we can walk in. It's going to be fully walk-in for us, but it's also going to have a cat door so that we can close that door and the cats can come and go via the cat flap, basically. So I'm not sure if anybody's got any questions about my cat pens. I get asked about my cat pens a lot. These ones are destined for the tip. We might take these extension runs and make a play zone. I've often said I would do that, put a bunch of them together and make a big play zone for the cats to run and go crazy in. We'll see what happens. They're pretty knackered. You can see, oh, I was going to stand up. My knees aren't great. You can see here, cats have used it as a scratcher. So it's all worn away. You know, it's really worn away, and they are very hard to sweep up. It's a bit awkward to get in here and sweep and do things, and I'd like to have it so that in my cattery in the barn, my doors come all the way to the ground, open the door, and it's fully open. So what I would like is just to be able to sweep stuff straight out, and instead of having to sweep it into the corner and use a dustpan and broom and everything, I think it would be better. And then we could also use the blower vac as well a little better. You can see over there's my wheels, the ones that have died. We need to get new ones because they really do like them, which is surprising for British Shorthairs. So there we go. Not sure if anybody... Oh, where's Blizzard? Blizzard's gone back away again. I was just grooming him before because he is going to the show tomorrow. Oh, here he is. Oh, bang my head. That's another thing I don't want to have in the new pens. Blizzy. Come on, buddy. He says no thank you. He's just been... I've just done his... I haven't done his nails. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do them till tomorrow. Hey, Blizzy. You can see we've got hammocks in here and beds in here. All peed on. Hey, you're a good boy. You like to do peepees. They will have hammocks in the new zone. And we're also thinking the top shelves we're going to make out of mesh. One of the things that I find is a little bit annoying in the barn is that we've got some shelving in there that I can't actually see the top of because it's higher up than I am. And the cats love it. They love going up high. But what's a bit of a problem for me is I can't clean it. So the top shelves are going to be made out of mesh so that they can be easier to clean. And then we'll just put beds and towels on them so the cats will be comfy. Hey, you comfy? You're a good boy. Hey. Your eyes need washing, don't they? Maybe we'll do that this afternoon when you've calmed down a bit. He's a good boy. He's got a coat that's like a lamb. It's that thick. It's lovely, especially considering it's coming into summer. Could do with a little bit more weight. Like Herbert. He is like it's weird. He does look a lot like Herbert. The other day I walked out into the cattery when Blizzard was still in there. And I thought, oh no, Blizzard's got out. He's walking around. And it wasn't. It was Herbert who's allowed to walk around. Good boy. So he's settled in really good. He doesn't really know me that well. This is a cat. He's an entire adult. He's a couple of years old and he doesn't know me. So he's getting to know me, settling in really well. He doesn't have any girlfriends yet. He will have some soon. I'd like to do his DNA test first. He's been transferred. He's all mine. So we'll do his DNA test and then we'll go from there. But I do have his babies at the moment because I also, from the same breeder, I got a girl who was having kittens a couple of weeks after I got her. He's got a dirty backside too. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that before tomorrow. You going to let me clean your butt? I don't think he will. So these little doors, they're annoying. They're made for chickens. They're annoying. Yeah, so the new pens will have a little bit less. They won't have all of this stuff. It's just going to be all the way through. They'll be easier to walk in. I won't have to duck my head down like I'm doing now. They'll have more levels and they're just going to be better. So the starting point is that Damien's gone to get the mesh, and then I think next weekend he'll go and get the wood, and then we'll get started on them. Damien has lots of woodworking tools and things like that, so he's going to have a little break over the Christmas break and get into it. And what I'll do is we'll take a lot of videos and stuff and maybe set up time-lapse videos or something as we're doing it so that we can share it with you as we go along, because you know it's really hard to find something where you can just buy it off the shelf. We actually did consider today, we were going to get make the cabin area to be what we want, and then get steel mesh panels for the sides for this area out here. Problem is though, yes, those panels do exist. I hate these doors, like 50,000 things to keep the cats in. Oh my god, they're a bit crap. So we could make this bit out of this part of the section out of steel panels that you could get, and then we wouldn't have to make them. But they make the panels, which would be great. But they're really expensive to get freighted here. So it's not the fact that the panels are expensive, it's the shipping costs that are expensive. So we're just going to go ahead and stick to our original plan and make our own. Just going to scroll back and see if there's any questions. Any questions about having new boys? Any questions about cattery pans? At some point I know I'm going to, next time I'm in Tasmania, I'll show you Charlotte's setup, but it was really cool to share what other people have got as well. Here's Bobby. Bobby. So Bobby is going to get D6 soon, aren't you, Bobby? Bobby has not given us any babies at all. Thanks, Bobby. Absolutely love Bobby. But, yeah, it just wasn't to be. You need a brush, buddy. Ralphie's in there as well somewhere. Where's Ralphie? Ralphie! Ralphie and Bobby. Ralphie's getting a bit older. Bobby's his son. Bobby. They love to have the catnip. This is my catnip that I have growing. And we can just take a little bit of this. I've already given them some today. I'll give them some more. And I just scrunch it up on the door so that it releases the scent, and then just drop it in. Bobby loves it. Ralphie's probably passed out somewhere. Here goes Bobby. Bobby. It's a good boy. So this is the pen we're going to replace first. I think it's our oldest one. It's got, at the moment, it's got on the roof there, you can see it's got straps holding the roof on and a big bit of wood there holding the panels in. It really needs to go. It does. Quimby and Baxter are in there at the moment, so they will be, but Baxter's retiring soon. So their pen is a mess. It really needs to go in the tip. So they'll be having this replaced with the new one. So we'll be moving Baxter and Quimby out because Quimby is desexed. So Quimby is going to become a houseboy soon. And Baxter is going to be desexed, and then we'll find Baxter a lovely pet home to go live in. But these guys, they're pretty happy together. Bobby. So yeah, I better go finish my grooming and prepping for the show tomorrow. I've got to get my cages out and get all my cages and curtains ready to go. Good boys. I'm also desexing Bruno up the end here, Bruno and Vinny, so their pen's going to go as well because we won't need that one anymore, and that one's going to become a shed. You can see they love sitting on the shelves. Love sitting on the shelves. So in the new pens, this bit here is going to be panels, and this bit here is going to be mesh, but it's going to be up to about here. So they'll have more levels here, and it'll be a lot higher, so they'll be able to get up to the higher levels as well. So I think they're going to really like that, and it's going to be much nicer just to walk in and walk straight through, and they'll be easier to keep clean and deal with and manage. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to having easier, anything that makes it easier to stay breeding. Breeding is hard work. There's a lot of effort and hard work involved, so anything that makes it easier is good, basically. Cuthbert's got babies on the way. Blizzy. Here comes Blizzard. So they do like those steps. They just go green. So they're going. They're going, aren't they? Yours are green too, aren't they? Cuthbert is surprisingly clean considering the state of his pen. Bobby has stayed clean this year. Bobby was disgustingly brown last year, but he's been a good boy. And then of course I have a lot of van cats at the moment too. So Baxter is a van with lots of white, and I've got the boys up there with lots of white, which is harder to look after. Okay, well, that's a little bit about my cat pens and replacing them and what we're going to do. So as we do make them, we will take some videos of that, and I might make a separate series on YouTube for that, so that other people can see, so that people can make their own, basically, or even just have an idea of what you might like someone else to make for you. Okay, hope that was helpful, and I'll talk to you next time.